Hey there. I want to talk to you very briefly about some neuroscience that has to do with behavior. And there's an aspect of this that a lot of people have really never heard of. Uh, and this is very current. It's the idea was really established in 1990 by a guy named Paul MacLean. He was an MD and a researcher. Um, and he put forth this idea that your brain is a three-in-one organ, as he termed it. And what he's talking about is the these three brains consisting of um, I'm sorry, I keep getting interrupted, guys. The the Try this again. I'm sorry. Very sorry about this. I don't want to go all the way back to the end and start again. So bear with me. Paul MacLean, Dr. MacLean, and his idea of three brains, or three-in-one brain, and consisting of the reptile brain that controls aggression, dominance behavior, and other primitive things, the paleo mammalian brain, and that governs emotional expression, and the neo mammalian brain, and that's language, intelligence, experience, and judgment. So that kind of had some spin-offs as far as theories are concerned. Neuroscience informed therapies, polyvagal therapy, biopsychosocial, which is a catch-all phrase nowadays, fight or fight or flight stuff, and so on and so forth. And in order to really zero in on this stuff, I became very interested in eye movement uh, and the desensitization and reprocessing. I'm talking about information here. So it's a theoretical underpinning. Having trouble today, guys. Sorry. Uh, and that's part of the neuroscience as far as behavior is concerned. The assumptions are this EMDR, if you want to say that, use that acronym for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's adaptive information processing. That's the basis of it. And what it proposes, the AIPM proposes, is that there's unprocessed negative experiences. They're stored in your memory, and they're basically stuck there neurologically, not because you want to keep them there. So there's a biological component to this, and that prevents them from becoming part of your adaptive thinking, which in turn affects behavior. I know I said it's neuroscience, so bear with it. So how do we apply it to family therapy? Well, you want to involve the person in their past experiences. Uh, the impact of the family system on an individual. So what do? You begin to work with this from the aspect of wanting to effect a behavior change, and it's a change that would be beneficial to them as well as their other family members. So you include the whole family in this thing, and you review the dynamics of their family systems. You identify negative cycles, you identify interactions, both positive and negative, and you work toward new ways of connecting within the family. There's this term psychoeducation. A lot of people have never heard of that, and all it is what it says, introducing you to the system of understanding psychology involvement in EMDR treatment. Um, we look at the past, the present, and we try to predict the future using this eye movement business to understand what the reactions are. This is part of body language, if you hadn't figured that out already, about how you are reacting to things related to uh, and things that are causation to behaviors. Um, I won't go into the specifics. You can read about it, but it's so relatively new that there's and this being a new textbook, by the way, there's a lot of information that's still not controversial per se, but it's information that is still in discussion. So what we're the end result of this is supposed to be emotional distress relief, which is the case in all therapy. But this is just using a different approach, a more neurological approach, a more how could I put that? Not outlandish, but out of the ordinary. Um, so we want to use your eye movements, and I don't do this, but therapists that do want to use eye movements and explain those eye movements, and then have you as the client do self-assessments. Uh, do self-assessments based on what is taught you from the eye movements and how that affects your emotions. So if you uh, if you want to experiment with this, next time somebody smiles at you in a given circumstance, have a look at their eyes and see if you detect sincerity in the smile or some sort of not a deception necessarily, but what's called a Duchenne smile. Yeah, you can Google that. Duchenne de Ballon was a French researcher who discovered and described fake smiles. So check that guy out. All right, so that's all I have for this. Very short and to the point. Um, and sorry I'm late with this, but I think it'll be okay. All right, see ya.